Okay, so we're going to now work on this section, the hero. So on small screens, everything is going to be stacked. Also on medium screens, so you'll notice that when this changes, we hit medium screens and it's still stacked. And then on large screens is when we're going to have it side by side. And I did that just because of the ratio of the image to the text looked kind of weird on medium screens. So we're just going to switch it on large. And we're going to have this image and the background on large screens. Once we hit medium, that'll go away and everything will stack. And this stuff is completely up to you, it's preference. If you like the way it looks on medium screens with the background image and with them side by side, then absolutely do that. But I think it looks better like this. So let's go ahead and go under the nav where we left off, and let's say this is going to be the hero section, and we'll use a section tag. I'm going to give it an ID of hero, and let's do the container. So this is going to be the container for the image and the content, or the text. I mean, an image is content, but you guys know what I mean. So the image and then the content. So let's do a class of container, and we're going to use flex. Now, to begin with, we're actually going to do flex call reverse. And the reason for that is because the text part or the content part is actually going to be first because it's on the left here. But on small screens, I want the image to be on top. I should say under large screens, I want the image to be on top. If we just do flex call, then the text is going to be on top. So we're going to use reverse. And then we're going to add, let's say, padding all around. We'll do 6. Actually, let's do our MX Auto first. So MX Auto, then we'll do our padding 6. And I'm going to say on large screens, I want it to be flex row and be side by side. Also on large screens, I want the margin bottom to be 0. So that's the container. And inside here, we're going to have the image. Actually, we're going to have the content first. So let's say we're going to have the content and then the image. All right, so to start off here, let's create another div. So this is going to be this part, which I'm going to make into a flex column because it's always going to be vertical. And we'll add some spacing in between here. We'll do 10 in between. So let's say flex dash call and space on Y. We'll do 10, and then on large screens, I'm going to add a margin top of 16. Okay, I'm also going to add on large screens. We want this to take up half, 50%. So let's say for the width, we're going to do 1/2 on large screens. All right, so inside here, let's do we'll start off with the H1. So the H1, the size will be text 3XL. And let's say font dash semi-bold. And we're going to align that text to the center. On large screens, we're going to up the text a little bit. So we'll do 6XL on large screens. And also on large screens, instead of text center, we're going to do text left. And we'll say a simple bookmark manager. So let's take a look. Cool. And then underneath that, underneath each one, we're going to have a paragraph, and let's do a max width of medium and MX dash auto to push it to the middle. And the text sizing, we're going to do large and align it to the center on small screens. And then text dash gray for the color, we're going to do gray 400. And then on large screens, we're going to up the text a little bit to 2XL. Also on large screens, we're going to left align the text. All right, and then also on large screens, let's take away any margin top, so MT0. And on large screens, we want MX0 as well. Okay, and then I'm just going to grab the paragraph and paste that in. Okay, so we have the text and paragraph. Now, if we look here, we have 2 buttons down here as well. So what we'll do is create a container for those buttons. So right underneath the paragraph, let's say buttons container. So this is going to be flex, and let's do items center. That will align them vertically. Justify center. We're also going to align them horizontally to the center. We're going to say width dash full, which is width 100%. Space between the items, we'll do 4. And then on large screens, we're going to justify to the start. All right, and then we just have our 2 buttons, which are actually links. And let's do padding. We'll do 4 all around. And then let's say for the text size, we'll do small. Font is going to be semi-bold. And the text will be white for this button. And let's see, for the background, we're going to do soft blue. Don't think we've used that yet. So that should actually be BG dash soft blue. And then let's make it rounded, and shadow we'll do medium. All right, and then let's see the border. Let's do border dash soft blue as well. And then on medium screens, we're going to do text base for the size. And then we also want to add a hover effect. So for hover, we'll do BG white. And also for hover, we'll do text will be soft blue. All right, so we should get the same type of hover effect that we got with the login in the header. So this is going to say get it on Chrome. Let's see, BG soft blue. That should be a lowercase s. And we should have a border. So border, oh, I forgot to put, let's say border dash 2. So when we hover over it, we just see the border and the text. All right, now the next button is going to be very similar, so we can just grab that and copy that down. And let's say get it on Firefox. And just change, let's see, instead of the, what color are we going to do here? We're going to do a background gray. So instead of BG soft blue, let's change that to BG gray dash 300. And we're going to want to change the border as well. So instead of border soft blue, let's do border gray dash 300. And the text color, let's make that black. So text black. And then also, what do we want to do for the text color? I'm sorry, not the text color, the hover text color. So for that, we'll do text gray 600. So hover text gray dash 600. All right, so now we're going to do the image. So let's come down here, and we're going to put this in a div. Let's do relative. We're going to say relative and then MX dash auto. And on large screens, I'm going to remove the MX auto and do MX 0. Also on large screens, we're going to do a margin bottom of 0. And on large screens, we're going to do a width, let's say width dash 1/2. So it's going to take up half, just like the content part does. And then for the image, let's add a couple classes here. We're going to make this relative, and the Z index is going to be Z10 because we want this to be behind the overlay. And then let's see the LG. When I say overlay, I'm talking about the menu that we're going to do later. LG, we're going to do top. The position will be top 24. And then on extra large, we're going to change that position to top 0. And let's also add a class of overflow dash X dash visible. And the image name is going to be illustration right here, illustration hero. All right, so let's save that, and let's see. So it should just stack on top of the content until we hit the large screen, and then it's going to go side by side. All right, and then on large screens and up, we're going to have this background as well. I think I called this an image before, but it's not actually an image. We're just going to use CSS. So for that, I'm going to go right above where we have the image and I'm going to put a class of BG Hero for background hero. And then what we'll do is go into our input CSS and we'll just add that styling. So again, we only want this to show on larger screens. So what we'll do is use a media query, and let's set a min width in here. So min width, and we're going to set that to 1020 pixels. So 1020 pixels, which is the same breakpoint, same size as the large screen. And then let's say BG Hero. Actually, let's do it with a hyphen. I don't know why I did that. We want to stick to the same convention. So BG Hero. And then in here, we're going to say BG Hero. We're going to do a width of 2000 pixels. So basically, it's just going to go like over to the right and keep going. And then the height of that is going to be 300 pixels. And let's say from the left, we're going to go 30%. So it's going to come from the left and stick out 30%. And then I'm actually going to just apply some Tailwind styles. So we're going to use the apply directive, and we're going to make this absolute. And of course, we could just do like, position absolute and stuff up here, but we'll just apply these. So rounded, let's say rounded on the left side, full. And the positioning will be top 52, and then the background will be soft blue. All right, so let's save that, and now it shouldn't show until we hit our large breakpoint, which is right here. All right, and as long as we keep stretching it, that's why it's 2000 pixels, so that if we keep stretching it, it'll still keep going to the edge of the screen. All right, so I think that looks pretty good. All right, so let's see. In the next video, we're going to start on the tabs, actually, or the features section. So we have the features section, which is just this, and then we have the features tabs. And for now, we're just going to create the CSS to give us the layout, and then after that, we'll add the JavaScript so that we can actually make these tabs work.